I'm a strong, independent woman. This will make you feel miserable. Everything was falling apart until I started tapping into my feminine energy. 33% of females are depressed. Females are fighting with themselves. There's a lot of divorce nowadays. We're matching with the wrong people. If partners work on themselves, everyone gets divorced. We are not born to work 8 hours a day. The main thing that a man needs to receive is warmth, love, and emotions. When you focus on the good gets better. Males nowadays are not that ready to get married. This is what usually happens. So whenever you're building this list of the dream partner, how will you be the dream wife for him?
Today's guest is Lea Bahaderian, a feminine energy coach who's helping women around the world remove the mask of constant productivity and tap into their natural power. But her journey started with her own breakdown, a divorce that made her realize she was living in a complete masculine energy. Leah has been coaching for 8 years and has built a following teaching women how to balance success with femininity. We'll talk about why successful women struggle in relationships, the signs your partner is in masculine energy, and how men can actually help. Whether you are a woman feeling burnt out or a man wanting to support your partner, this episode will better change how you see energy, attraction, and relationships. Leah, I came across some fascinating research by American Psychological Association that shows women's stress hormones can be 40% higher than men's in modern workplaces. And it's directly linked to trying to operate in systems designed for masculine energy. Leah, you lived this firsthand.
Yeah.
Tell me about your breaking point.
So my breaking point or my breakthrough was 2 years ago when I got divorced. So before that, I was living life normally, working on myself, doing a lot of therapy, healing, coaching with other people, growing, but there was a missing point always. I used to always succeed in one area of my life, and all the rest are falling apart. Until I got married the first time. Everything started falling apart. I wasn't able to let go of what's inside me, the masculine that was inside me, that wasn't balanced enough with the feminine. And if you look at what happened from the outside, I was the victim for people. Until I got divorced and sat alone and started my healing journey properly, I realized that I wasn't the victim. This was all I needed to pass through to tap into my feminine energy again. Because where I was is only masculine, and I attracted a toxic relationship that led me to where it led me. It was very harsh, but at the same time, I learned a lot, and I'm sure that my ex-husband also learned a lot. I wasn't in my feminine, I was full on in my masculine, and this was affecting my life one area at a time. My career, my relationship, my finances, everything was falling apart until I started tapping into my feminine energy. And then I was aligned with my goals and with the other dimension where I want to go.
How does a toxic relationship looks like?
Okay, so basically a toxic relationship nowadays looks like a very masculine woman and a toxic masculine male. Okay, so where I was, I couldn't let go I didn't surrender. I wanted to control everything. I wanted to be dominant in the relationship. I wanted to take all the decisions. I didn't know how partnership work because I was all in my masculine. I didn't know how to take a break, which made me more in my masculine. I wanted to live life just like my ex-husband was living. The tough workouts, the tough work, the tough way of making money, which made it worse, which made him more insecure, which is normal because I'm in my masculine. I'm trying to be very aggressive in my career and at work, which definitely made a big imbalance inside the house. So nowadays, I think this is the main reason partners are falling apart, families are falling apart, because in a system that is built by males, which we're grateful for because we're here because of it, but we cannot fit just like the way we are trying to force it nowadays.
So, what did your life look like when you were completely disconnected from your feminine?
I used to feel guilty when I wanted to take a break, so no breaks whatsoever. I used to work out like a male. I used to work out daily, had zero clue that I need to sync my workout to my schedule. If I'm PMSing, I'm on my period, I didn't care. I want to work out. I need to be disciplined. I need to be resilient. I need to be harsh on myself. I need to hustle to get to my goals. This was a big problem to me. I used to value myself according to how much I make money, how much my schedule is full. So my value was directly related to how much I work. And if I took a day off or I was feeling weak or tired, I used to feel invaluable. And this was emphasized from also my surroundings. Because I feel this about myself, I used to reflect it on my surroundings too. My whole schedule didn't respect the cycle, my menstrual cycle, because I'm a woman. So number one rule is syncing my schedule to my cycle, because males function in like 24 hours. Okay, so males are very stable in their emotions, in their hormones, in their chemistry. Males function according to a purpose, because they are providers. They provide also for their family, for their babies, for their wife. They protect, so they need to be stable. Whereas women, they function like the 4 seasons pass in 1 month, in one cycle. So the 4 seasons of the whole year, they pass in a woman in 1 month, during the ovulation, the premenstrual syndrome, the period, and the follicular phase after the period. So each phase has its own chemicals, has its own hormones, which make the woman fluctuate, which is normal. Sometimes the woman needs to rest, sometimes she needs to be more creative, sometimes she has a lot of energy. And this all comes back to that the women are creators. We get pregnant, we get babies. This is why we need these hormones. So as long as we're not respecting this cycle and these 4 seasons that pass through 1 month and every month we live in, it's gonna be very chaotic. We're gonna be very disconnected from our feminine energy.
So, you said divorce made you realize that you were in your masculine.
Yeah.
And what did that look like day to day, firstly? Secondly, I want you to tell me how you got introduced to this concept of cycle. And I mean, what interested you to know more about these things?
I've been in the coaching field for like 8 years. So I'm always working on myself, updating my knowledge, reading a lot, reading about it. Something inside me was craving this when I was married the first time. So I was craving this like feminine side. I wanted to be soft. I wanted to be like taken care of, but this wasn't the case. When I got divorced, I started living alone after the divorce. When I used to sit alone at home in between my sessions, in between working hours, I started realizing that I'm enjoying the break. I'm enjoying the rest day without any workout. I'm enjoying sitting in silence, though sometimes it was very painful. I was facing my demons back then, facing what things I did wrong in my life, what wrong decisions I took, what wrong challenges I attracted to my life. So in this period, when I started living alone, sitting alone, meditating alone, sometimes just sitting alone and crying my heart out, I was releasing emotions. I was trying to let go of something. I didn't know what was it. So bit by bit, I started reading about the feminine energy. After a while, I met my partner, which is my husband now. I actually attracted him because then I started, before I met him, I was working on my feminine energy, like to match with this type of healthy masculine. So here I realized that there's something wrong. I need to let go of control. I need to surrender to life. I need to surrender to challenges. I need to surrender to my body sometimes, to my cycle. I need to respect this. And since I was living alone and no one is judging me, I started taking breaks. I started pausing. I started meditating properly. I started like fixing my schedule, not according to my cycle back then because I didn't know what I was doing, But when I was tired, I just didn't take any sessions. I stopped working. Though I was in control of my life, but at the same time, this zero judgment around you, not the family, not the friends, I wasn't even judging myself. This made me closer to tap into my feminine energy. Then I started because I was aligned with my feminine energy, I started attracting the law of attraction. You've heard of it, of course. I started attracting the right people. One of them is my husband now. I started attracting the right opportunities which are aligned to this me, to this Leah today, you know?
So you saying that you had to raise your vibrations to attract the kind of people you wanted to attract in your life.
Absolutely. I didn't know what I was doing back then. I know about the law of attraction. I teach it to people. This is what I do. This is my job. But tapping into the feminine energy, because I'm a female, balancing the feminine and the masculine, knowing when to use the masculine, full on masculine at work, at my workout, but all the rest of the day is I'm in my feminine. So balancing this energy is flowing easily inside my body, which puts me on a very high frequency. And this frequency, because I'm on a high frequency, it serves my goals. It helps me manifest what I'm dreaming of into the real life. Because I'm relaxed, my nervous system is relaxed, I'm vibrating on a very high frequency.
So are you saying like tapping into feminine energy, or is it just the feminine energy or the masculine also, like for men? When they tap into their respective energies, they raise the level of manifestation in life?
Absolutely.
All
Absolutely. They vibrate on a higher frequency, because when the feminine energy is dominant in males, their body is not functioning properly. You are a male. You need the masculine, you know? They need to be balanced, okay? In males, masculine is a bit more than feminine. They need the masculine to protect their family, to have a purpose, to go hunt their goals, to get money for the family, to protect them. But they need the feminine energy to release their emotions, to be like empathetic with their partner, with their kids, and so on. The females, on the other side, it's the total opposite. We need more our feminine energy to create babies, to be empathetic with them, to take care of them, to take care of our emotions, know how to release them, to sync with our cycle, our menstrual cycle, which makes us function, which makes our body function properly. So our organs are functioning in a perfect way. This is why we vibrate on a very high frequency. My wheel of life. So the wheel of life is the career, the relationship, the family, the areas of my life. I used to succeed in one and lose all the rest, then succeed in another, lose all the rest. What needs to happen, when I tapped into my feminine energy, I started succeeding in all the wheel of life.
All right.
Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah. And that must feel very magical, like how you are growing in all fields of your life together.
It is magical. It's a miracle. It's the miracle of life.
Yeah.
When you know, like, what you were born, the purpose. What is the purpose of all human beings? What are we searching for? We're searching for the light inside us. So aligning with this light, me as a female, you as a male, will definitely do like miracles in your life.
How does a man look like when he's into his feminine energy a lot instead of masculine?
He's not dominant. He's egoist. His ego is very high because he's a male, but he's fighting with himself from the inside. I'm a male, but I want to control, but at the same time, I'm demanding a lot of things from my partner. I want to share with her half everything, like things related to finances, things related to like physical effort. Okay, so this is one. Two, he might, because his ego is very high and he's like fighting with himself all the time, just like the female, he gets very aggressive. He keeps on searching for his inner self or for his masculine energy through drugs, maybe, through like bad habits, through excessive training and steroids and things that make him feel more masculine. But at the end of the day, this is not what makes you feel masculine. It's the total opposite. And when he goes to try to sleep, at the end of the day, he feels empty. You know, he's not fulfilled because he doesn't have a purpose.
Yeah.
I was researching 33% of females in the UAE are depressed.
Oh my God.
20.5% in the Arab world, they are depressed. Females are fighting with themselves. they lost their purpose. Same goes for males. This is why there's a lot of divorce nowadays. Like, we're matching with the wrong people.
So you mentioned when you moved alone after your divorce, you said you started doing meditation properly.
Yeah.
What's the difference between meditating and meditating properly?
I used to meditate every day when I was married before my divorce. I wasn't able to sit with my thoughts. There was always something holding me back. So I used to sit in a meditative state, put the right music, try to tap into, but always thoughts were hunting me. And I couldn't stay for long. 5-10 minutes maximum, that's it. I couldn't sit for long with myself because there's this inner fight inside me. There are those demons that I wasn't able to face inside me. After I got divorced and I started realizing that I'm not a victim, he's not a victim, we're fully responsible to what happened, both of us. So I started sitting alone and trying to meditate and like kind of force myself to observe my thoughts. What am I thinking of? Where did I go wrong? What did I say wrong? Where did I trigger him? It was all related to my marriage, first phase of this transition. Of course, because I was hurt. And what pressured me more is that for society, I was the victim because of what happened. They don't know what was really happening inside of us, the female and the masculine energy. They don't know. People don't know. They see the bigger picture. So I was a victim, my brain trying to prove to me that I'm a victim, and my soul was ready to like let go of this. I'm not a victim. The fire is inside me. I need to let go of the victim, you know?
Yeah.
I started like introducing myself to myself through the meditations. So I started to sit longer, force myself to sit longer. Sometimes I used to sleep at the end of the meditation.
Okay.
1 hour, 2 hours of meditation, thinking, observing my thoughts, facing my demons, sitting in stillness, being present. This is what meditation feels like. I was doing it all wrong before.
One of the stages of getting into meditation is to sit with yourself, and you're not going to be blank. There'll be thoughts coming in, and they're coming in for a reason. That you sit with those emotions, those feelings, and then you get through them, that why you feeling that way.
Exactly.
So for that, of course, I mean, you have to sit for a longer period. So people who meditate for 10 minutes or 15 minutes, do you think that's not useful?
If they already meditate, they are already in tune with their body, they are already growing and working on themselves, it's definitely useful. Increasing the timing bit by bit every day helps a lot. And doing it, if people are just starting to meditate, doing it early in the morning, whenever they wake up, the brain has the alpha waves. So the frequency is already very high. They are in a meditative state, so it's easier for them to meditate, or before they sleep. Disconnecting from our phone is really helpful for us to tap into ourselves. This stimulation all the time disconnects us from ourselves. Like, the only thing that will get us back into our real energies is connecting to nature. Being on the phone all the time is disconnecting us from our body, which is part of nature. It's disconnecting us from sitting with ourselves. So we are living on these shots of dopamine, scrolling, texting, being connected to the world all the time. Connected to the world, which means we are not connected to ourselves.
Yeah.
Everything is for the outside. So rule number 1 for females I'm working with now, no phone. First 30 minutes when they wake up, last 30 minutes before they sleep. After a while, we start implementing phone detox 1 time per week. 24 hours, no phone. I do it. Yeah.
How does it feel?
Wow, amazing. The day after, I want to get back to work. I want to... I feel like I don't want to touch my phone. I'm so connected to myself. So this stimulation all the time really disconnects us and really imbalances our energies from the inside, along with a lot of stuff like that females do nowadays, which I totally respect, and I was one of them. The injections, the Botox and the fillers, they block our feminine energy. Why? Because they also disconnect us from nature, from our true self. So having these injections in our face like blocks our facial expressions, which confuses our brain, which makes us imbalanced energy.
Yes.
100%. So no judgment for anyone, because as I said, I was one of them. People don't have this knowledge. It's not normal for a woman now not to have any injections.
Yeah.
They normalized it to the extent that you either have an injection in your face or you're not normal or you're not like tidy and
Yeah.
you don't look nice.
So you mentioned that how you take a one whole day break from your phone.
Yeah.
But if someone wants to do that because someone like you who's also into a coaching business, whose all work is based on your screen,
Yeah.
and one day you just miss and you lose a few clients, how do you manage that?
I will not lose anything. As long as I'm gaining myself, there's nothing to lose.
Oh my God. I mean, this is so powerful. Like, I'm not losing myself. You're gaining yourself there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
As long as I'm gaining myself, I'm aligned with the right people, with the right members. Us females do not chase. So members, I attract them. People who need me, they come to me. You know, so this is one thing. On another note, like they tell me, my parents didn't get used to this like quickly. They tell me, what? Like 24 hours, we need to talk to you. They live in Lebanon. I live here.
Yeah.
We need to connect. Guys, no, now they're used to it. No, I need this 24 hours for myself. Please respect this. Whatever happens there, anyways, I will not be able to go before 24 hours. So whatever happens in the world, I will know the next day. My well-being is very important. However, this wasn't easy at the beginning. So it started with, so I don't have any notification on my phone. So no notification. My phone doesn't light up. It's very stimulating for the brain. My phone is always on silent. So these are the steps that made me do the 24-hour phone detox. And I started with the half an hour in the morning, half an hour in the evening with no phone. Okay, so this is how it started. Bit by bit, my body started craving sitting without a phone. Then I started introducing the phone fast, the phone detox. So step by step, it doesn't happen like.
You mentioned that how your phone, whenever it rings or whenever the light pops out, it's very stimulating on human body.
Yeah.
Can you please go a little deeper and tell me how does it affect that stimulation?
We are very connected to our phones to the extent that, as I said, because we use our phones a lot and we scroll and we see like very tempting stuff on social media, even tempting when someone texts us from the other side of the world. So these are shots of dopamine, just like drugs. Okay. So when my phone lights up, when a notification comes to my phone, you cannot not look. Now I'm sitting with you. If my phone lights up, my eyes will go straight to my phone.
100%.
I'm not present anymore. I'm extremely stimulated. Imagine what is happening to the neurons of the brain all the time. We're not present. And presence is the only way to the light, you know? So as long as we're not present, we're stimulated all the time, our nervous system is not relaxed. When the nervous system is not relaxed, there is no room for the energy to move properly in our body. There are cramps in our muscles. We're not feeling well. We directly get stimulated, you know? So all of this falls into the notification of the phone. So this lack of presence kills the energy inside us, imbalances the energy inside us, and disconnects us from ourselves.
Leah, there's this concept in psychology called complementary attraction. We unconsciously seek partners who balance our energy. If you were operating in pure masculine energy, what type of partner were you attracting and why was that toxic?
So if I'm in my masculine, I will definitely attract someone who is in his feminine. Whereas since men has a bit more ego than females, so they do not accept that they are in their feminine. So the ego rises a lot. They start fighting with themselves. So their masculinity becomes very toxic. So they start trying to prove that they are like very strong and very masculine in a very aggressive way or in a very toxic way. Therefore, to brief it to you, if I'm in my masculine, I will attract a toxic masculine male. The ego is in males more than in females.
Okay.
Okay, because males need the ego, the good ego, if I want to say, at work, to hunt, and to protect their family. Okay? When their feminine energy is very high, they do not accept, because of their ego, they do not accept that I'm in my feminine. No, they start fighting with themselves. I am masculine, I am strong, I'm very dominant. All of this falls into becoming very toxic. They start doing aggressive habits to prove to themselves that they are in their masculine. They start going to the gym aggressively, grow their muscles, injecting themselves with steroids to look more masculine. This shows that they are 100% disconnected from their masculine, you know?
So how did you even know what feminine energy is?
I read a lot and I've been working on myself for the past 8 years. But when the moment, like, it's something inside you that shows you that, this is my intuition. This is what I was born to do. These habits, like, are fulfilling me. So when I started feeling fulfilled, okay, this is where I got introduced to the feminine energy inside me.
And what was that feeling like for you?
It was, I felt so soft. I felt emotional. I felt relaxed. My nervous system was super relaxed. I was able to take breaks. I was able to receive compliments. I was from the people who do not receive compliments. When someone gives me a compliment, I say thank you, and I say something after. Thank you, but I don't know, my hair is not okay today. Thank you, but I'm having a bad hair day. We stopped receiving, and receiving is like the number one feminine energy, like a rule. We need to receive. We receive the sperm from the male. We need to receive. The male is a provider. We need to accept receiving. So when I started accepting receiving, when I started feeling relaxed in my nervous system, when I lost the bloating, I was bloated all the time before. 8 years of my life, I'm bloated. My digestive system is going crazy because my nervous system is not okay. Ever since I started feeling this, relaxed in my body, in tune with my body, not getting sick anymore, this is where I start touching the feeling of being feminine. And my intuition became very high. Like this feeling of intuition, this feeling of I take this decision or that, automatically I know the right decision, I'm gonna take it because of my inner intuition, which we females need to have because we're gonna have kids in the future. So the female who's trying to work on herself, read about femininity, about feminine energy and so on, she will only know when she feels it. No one can tell her now you are in your feminine. She will feel it from the inside.
It's something which can only be experienced, not told.
100%. Just like life. You can experience life.
Yeah.
No one can teach you life. Yeah.
I'm valuable by how much I pressure myself, how much I'm resilient, how much I'm productive. Where does this belief come from?
Oh my God. Those are my words. Okay. So maybe I'm very grateful for my family, of course, but I was born in an financially average family. And I took responsibility from a very young age. And my mom was too feminine. And my dad was a bit toxic masculine. I love him. I love my parents. I did my healing journey and I accepted them the way they are. I'm so grateful for them. But this is the reality, okay? Because they have like also their ancestors, their parents.
Yeah, the trauma they have been carrying.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I was born in like this family. So I related the femininity that my mom had to weakness because I used to see like this toxic relationship, you know? So automatically, my brain didn't want me to be feminine. I want to work. My mom didn't used to work from before. Now she works. So she was like a housewife, very emotional, very tender. I didn't want to be that woman because I saw like everything she passed through. So I did everything the total opposite. I wanted to be successful at my work. I wanted to make a lot of money alone. I'm in control. I control the house. I'm the provider. No one tells me what to do. I'm 100% in my masculine. This is one of the reasons. Of course, there are many other reasons, many other limiting beliefs, but I think this is the main limiting belief where I started building on in my life, my habits, and so on. And when also another thing, when I was very young, like my parents, they expect a lot from their child. You need to get very good grades. You need to be the best at school, the best in sports, the best. Yeah. So this pressure doesn't work, you know, especially with females.
Yeah.
So me trying to be the best all the time, it was crazy. Made me like sit for a long while in my masculine.
I think a lot of kids in their early ages and even in their teens go through this phase where this pressure has been put on them to be the best in whatever they are doing.
100%.
But that pressure is internally killing that tenderness, that kid inside them.
The real purpose. You
Yeah.
know, the light.
Yeah,
The light
the light.
inside the kids, they kill it. But our parents do not know.
Yeah.
Like, people do not know. This is their love language.
Hmm.
This is why I respect them so much.
Yeah.
Every parent, like,
Yeah, they don't want us to do bad in our lives. They want us to succeed, and
100%.
that's the best they can do.
100%. At the end of the day, our soul needed to pass through all of this to cleanse,
Hmm.
to find the light, you know? So everything anyone passes through is what they exactly need. No matter how much suffering they get, it's what they exactly need to cleanse their soul and go towards the light,
Yeah.
towards the source, God.
So how early do women start wearing this mask?
I think very early, like in their teenage, in their adolescence, because it's where they start building their character. They start getting exposed to society. And here comes the damage. When we get exposed to society, a lot of pressure. You need to look that way. You need to get the best degrees ever. You need to work so hard. You need to be disciplined, resilient. There, we wear the mask. And this mask, oh wow, it looks so perfect from the outside. But from the inside, we're not fulfilled. We're depressed. We have anxiety. We're not okay with our bodies. We have cancer. We have illnesses. We have bloating. We have a lot of stuff. We don't know where is it coming from. It's all coming from that imbalance in our energy, you know?
I read a study from Gallup State of Global Workplace, which found out that women are 50% more likely than men to experience burnout. And it's often because they are trying to prove their worth through constant doing rather than being. How do you help women recognize when they are wearing this mask?
I think I attract these women first. So people who come to me to do the discovery call before we start the sessions, they are not okay in somewhere in their life. They're not feeling fine with themselves. They are lost and they don't know why. So here starts the journey. So first, we start changing habits in their daily life. When they start feeling that they are relaxed in their nervous system, this is where I start pinpointing things related to their feminine energy. We start like putting all the work inside their feminine energy.
And how do you relax their nervous system?
Daily habits. First, seeing the sun more often. Stop putting sunscreen. We are protecting ourselves from this amazing, gigantic creation which serves all nature and all animals. Why are we protecting ourselves from it? So first, seeing the sun more, especially on the sunrise and the sunset. So going for a walk, relaxing our nervous system, seeing the sun rays, staying away from the phone. As I said, the notification on the phone, the ringtone is always on silent. I start helping them tuning in their body more through movement, maybe yoga, maybe workout, maybe going for a walk to shake the energy that they are eating, they are ingesting, they are hearing throughout the day. This helps relax the nervous system too. Also through breath work. Breathing elevates the oxygen level inside our body. When the oxygen level is high in the body, the cortisol level is low. The cortisol is the stress hormone. So cortisol and oxygen do not sit together in the body. It's either oxygen or
cortisol. Okay.
Absolutely. So breath work really helps increase oxygen, decrease cortisol. This is why they relax. This helps a lot. Meditation for sure. Things related to what they wear, what products they put on their face, stopping injections. The more the woman is open to update her feminine energy, to tap into it, the more I go deep in the habits. So they are like small habits that we do in our daily life that affect our nervous system. In parallel to the mind work reprogramming that I do as an NLP coach. Okay, so I use NLP to reprogram the brain. In parallel, I'm emphasizing on this reprogramming. I'm implementing this new program in their daily life using their habits. This is where their nervous system is relaxed. They have new habits that serve their feminine energy. And at the same time, they're getting rid of the past limiting beliefs that they used to have using the NLP techniques that I use.
Can you tell us 2 or 3 NLP techniques which you use usually with your clients?
Okay. Under NLP comes a lot of techniques. One of them is the timeline therapy. Timeline therapy works on negative emotions and limiting beliefs. I use it specifically to limiting beliefs. So as I said about myself a while ago, I used to have a limiting belief related to connecting femininity to weakness. So this is a limiting belief. Using timeline therapy, we go back in the timeline to the root cause of this limiting belief and break it. Hypnosis under NLP is also another technique to break limiting beliefs and to implement new beliefs in the unconscious mind. Everything comes from the unconscious mind. And also one of the techniques that I might be using is the language. The people in a session, they are usually in their unconscious mind. They are open to know more. They are open. This is why their unconscious mind is aware, is very aware, is very awakened. They are like in a meditative state. So sometimes a word I say or a question I ask, this is NLP, or a question I ask breaks a very old belief in a human's brain. You know, it's very interesting. Neuro-linguistic programming, which is NLP, is very interesting, very huge, very wide techniques that we use to help people reprogram. Imagine, we reprogram the unconscious mind. The unconscious mind, everything comes from the unconscious mind. It's the archive of our life. As long as we're able to reprogram it through these techniques, it's perfect.
You know, what's interesting for me to know here is you mentioned hypnosis, and I just went back to my memory lane, and I used to watch a lot of movies and shows back then. And I just remember this, the hypnosis.
Pendulum.
Yeah, the pendulum.
Yeah.
So does it work like that?
No.
Okay.
This hypnosis, like, it's the very old way of hypnosis, and it's banned in many countries. The hypnosis that I do is very similar to meditation.
Okay.
So I take the person into a meditative state. So you're in a hypnotic state, let's say, very relaxed, alpha waves are coming out of your brain. And there I start putting suggestions in their brain. So it's a hypnotic language that I use on a specific topic to implement a new program in their brain. But this alone doesn't work. We need to implement habits in their life for the hypnosis to work. And they can open their eyes anytime they want. They are awake, but in a meditative state. Just exactly like meditation, but I'm guiding them.
Okay, so the understanding I got here is that you put in the seed, but then the rest depends on them, like how they choose their habits and whether they are executing that too.
Yeah. They're not doing it alone. I give them the strategy.
I see.
So this is how I work. The session alone doesn't work. It's the session plus the strategy. What they need, their homework in between the sessions. So they have like a homework. This homework are the new habits that need to be implemented.
And you keep following up whether you did that or no.
Absolutely.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
So you mentioned that the system is created by men.
Yeah.
Can you break that down?
Okay, so when life started happening and becoming modern, and creation started to happen, we started having cars, phones, teletransportation, transportation ways. It was all made by men. Women back then were at home cooking, taking care of the kids, taking care of the well-being of the house. Males were outside trying to provide, trying to hunt, trying to bring money. It all started when the first male lighted up the fire. This is where it started. Yeah. This is where the system started. And bit by bit, the system started growing. When I say the system, for example, I give you an example. It's the 9-to-5 job. This is the system. Where did it start? Back then, women didn't have the right to work.
Right.
So it started with males. When females started having proper human rights, they started working, they started having rights just like males, they jumped into the system. Suddenly, they jumped from the house to the system that is created by males.
For males.
100%.
Yeah.
So, and they started trying to fit in. And this is where it all started. We force ourselves to go to our 9-to-5 job every single day, 5 times a week of the month. And our energy is different. Every week it's different. Our hormones, every week it's different.
Yeah, so how is it disconnecting women working 8 hours from their nature?
The energy they are putting in this 8 hours is a lot to their body and their hormones and to their chemistry. How they are created as women. Second of all, they might be able to do this only 1 week in the whole month, in their whole cycle. It's only 10 days, our follicular phase, where we are 100% energetic and we are able to work this amount of time. Other than that, we're PMSing, we're ovulating, we are on our period. We feel very tired. We still force ourselves to go to the 9-to-5 job. I totally understand that some people are obligated, They need to work to make money. It's difficult to help women who work 9 to 5, but it works when they go to their 9 to 5 and fix all the rest of their life areas. Their workout, their sleep, what they eat, how much connected to nature and to themselves they are, how much they drink coffee. So it can work, but it's a bit harder. Also, males are affected by we are not born to work 8 hours a day. We are like animals. We function at the sunrise, 4 hours after the sunrise. We need to rest midday after we have like a meal. We need to rest, sleep a bit. And at night, we function for 3-4 hours, and that's it.
So this is fascinating because you're saying women are trying to succeed in a masculine framework, but it's actually sabotaging their feminine side, the power.
Yeah.
For the men listening, how can we recognize as a men when our partners are stuck in this cycle?
A male is also working on himself. So the only way a relationship can be fixed is for the two partners to work on themselves. If the woman is not accepting to work on herself and the male is interested in this, he needs to work on himself, start his healing journey, tap into his masculine to be able to be aligned with the feminine. Then he will be able to know that there's something wrong in his partner. If he's disconnected from his masculine, he will never know unless he starts work. One of the partners need to work on themselves. Start tapping into their energy properly to understand that their partner has something wrong. If partners now work on themselves, everyone gets divorced. Honestly, as sad as it sounds, people who matched and they didn't work on themselves before, if they work on themselves now, they will connect on different frequencies. They will not connect on the same frequency.
So what happens after the 6 month of honeymoon phase?
Okay, so usually when someone goes into a relationship, there are like, you need to imagine the brain is in two halves. First half is the emotional brain. The second half is the rational brain. Okay? Around 6 months of the relationship, it's only the emotional brain that is working. The rational brain is sleeping. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So first 6 months, it's all butterflies and love and emotions. So after these 6 months, the rational brain starts working. Okay? But it's 6 months. I'm attached to this person already. I think I love this person already. I cannot like let him go. I need to try to change him. I don't like this about him. I don't like this about her. These flows don't work to me, but I want to force it because I think I love him because of the first 6 months. So when the rational brain starts taking over, here's where the problems start. And what happens is that usually partners force the relationship because they base their relationship according to what happened the first 6 months. The feeling they had the first 6 months.
And then they start thinking that, oh, for the first 6 months it was so good, but that spark is not there.
Yeah, I need to get it back by force.
Yeah.
And what happens is like they either break up after a very long while, usually because we tend to get attached to each other, or they get married.
They just keep pushing the relationship.
Yeah, unfortunately.
So syncing schedule to cycle, can you walk us through what this looks like practically?
Years ago, the year was 13 months. Before it became like 12 months. It was 13 months, just like the moon cycle, just like the menstrual cycle. So when we were aligned with nature and connected to nature, we used to get our period with the new moon or with the full moon. Okay? So females used to get their period, they were synced with the moon. The modern society came to life and we started disconnecting from ourselves. Therefore, we're not synced anymore with the moon. We have PCOS, many like
PTSD.
Exactly, like many illnesses that are related to the cycle. Hormones,
Yes.
exactly, which make our schedule fluctuate, not around the moon, away from the moon. It's a good sign if the woman now gets her period with the new moon. It's a very good sign. She's synced with the moon. Now, how can we do this practically? The number one rule for a woman is to sync her life schedule to her cycle. As long as her cycle feels safe in her body, she will be able bit by bit to sync with the moon.
Mm.
And syncing with the moon is a signal for her to know that she's on the right track. And if she has a 9 to 5 job, which I totally respect, it's okay. She can sync all the rest of her life with her cycle, her workouts, her load of work after work, the way she sleeps, the way she eats, all needs to be synced with her cycle. If she cannot sync her work, if she's not a freelancer.
So morning and night routines for nervous system.
Yeah.
What are the specific elements?
First, in the morning, it is essential for us to wake up with the sun. This is what we are born to do. But now with the fake light and so on, we sleep late, we wake up late. Now that we're building the awareness around it, waking up with the sun is amazing for the body. The hormones of our body would function perfectly. Our organs would function perfectly, and our energy would be different if we slept properly at night, 7 to 8 hours. The universal energy is very high. So the universal frequency is already very high when the sun is rising. So is our frequency if we wake up with the sun. So this is the first very important thing we need to know about the morning. Second very important thing is staying away from the phone in the morning. We already wake up with high cortisol level. It's normal. When the human wakes up, he has high cortisol in his blood.
Okay.
First thing we need to do is calm our cortisol down by breath work, by meditation, by doing some stretches to relax our muscles, okay? And after that, we can start the day. I have my community. It's called Easter Morning Community. So we have like 1 hour in the morning from 5 a.m. Lebanon time till 6 a.m. Lebanon time. We do like meditation, breath work at the beginning to calm down the cortisol and the nervous system. After it, we do ice facial to wake the body up. So we put our face in the ice tub. 1 minute of high intensity to elevate the heart rate. We jump, we dance, we do something like that to elevate the heart rate, to wake the body up. And after it, we start preparing for our day. We journal, we write our thoughts, we visualize ourselves in a positive way, we write our gratitudes. So this is the best case scenario. For the night routine, also, like turning off the lights or using the red light to calm down the nervous system, maybe reading instead of scrolling, also staying away from the phone before we sleep. The phone light stimulates us a lot, which makes us not go into a deep sleep properly. So half an hour, 1 hour before bed, relax my nervous system, drink something warm. It helps us relax our digestive system, which is directly connected to our nervous system. And breathing is number one key to relax your nervous system because oxygen level goes up.
So taking breaks without guilt, how do you reprogram this?
For a woman, she needs to start taking the break. She needs to start forcing herself to take the break. Taking a break is just like any habit. To build a new habit in our life, we need to walk in a momentum, go into a repetition for our system to understand what we're trying to tell him, for our system to memorize this new program, this new habit. Once the system memorizes this new habit, it will happen effortlessly. Just like I drink water, just like I brush my teeth. It's effortless. Just like we drive. We don't think of driving while we're driving. But at the beginning, when we started driving, we used to think of every step. So for a woman not to feel guilty, at the beginning, she will feel guilty if this is her program. She needs to force herself at the beginning until her body understands what she's trying to tell him and start absorbing this new habit. She needs to be working on other stuff in parallel. Journaling, expressing her emotions, because if she felt guilty and she expressed her emotion on a piece of paper later on, she will let it out of her system. This will help also support this new habit. You know, it's a journey. That it's a process, many small steps, but trust me, it is so worth it. Go find your light. This is the purpose that you have in life. Nothing more. Everything other than that, thank you, Lord, for this. Everything more, money, career, a good job, ceiling above my head. This is more than we need to have to exist.
So what do you mean when you say our purpose is to achieve the light? What does that light mean?
The light is the unconditional love. Okay? So you see everyone is searching for something. Harsh in the career, harsh in a relationship, trying to find his purpose. We all have purposes external to our bodies. But what's the internal purpose that we are born to find, that our soul came here on earth to find?
Feel fulfilled.
To feel fulfilled, to feel unconditional love. When we touch the light inside us, we feel very peaceful to the extent that we stop judging, we stop putting conditions on people around us, we start loving each other, we start living in peace, everything starts to align. Then we start manifesting what we want to reach in our external body, like the career, the money, the abundance, etc.
All right. So coming back to what we were talking about.
Yeah.
The menstrual cycle. How does a woman implement this in a traditional 9 to 5 corporate job
Okay.
without getting fired?
Faking that she's working. I'm kidding. Okay. For example, a woman who works in a 9 to 5 job needs to schedule everything else than her job to her cycle. This is rule number 1. Rule number 2, as much as she is able to, decrease the load of work during her luteal phase or her PMS. The luteal phase is the PM. So as long as she's in the luteal phase, she needs to be smart enough to fix her schedule and her priorities, keep them to the follicular phase.
What happens in the PMS phase?
Her energy drops.
Okay.
Her hormones fluctuates a lot. She's more emotional. She's more tender. And her frequency is a bit lower than usual because she's very emotional and we get triggered easily from everything that stimulates us.
Yeah.
So she feels super weak physically and mentally. This is why 9 to 5, she needs to like tweak around her tasks. Sometimes she will not be able to, which is understandable, as long as she's trying to fix everything else in her life other than her job. According to her cycle, she is helping herself.
So the understanding I'm getting is that they need to fix their cycle. I mean, their schedule according to their cycle.
100%.
So especially in PMS
Luteal
phase,
yeah.
they need to cut down the work and just get into a more relaxed mode. And then when they are in their follicular phase,
100%.
am I right?
Yes.
Yes. In follicular phase, they can take the stress because they have more energy, they are feeling strong, and then they can just cover up whatever they have missed there.
100%.
I see.
Without stopping any habit. For example, a woman works out, like goes to the gym. In the follicular phase, go hard, go run, go high intensity. Amazing. And the luteal phase, don't stop working out. Go for a light workout. Go for a light run or for a walk instead. Just keep the momentum going. Don't stop anything. Just play with the intensity.
Intensity. Cut down the intensity.
100%.
Makes sense. What are the specific signs a man should look for that his partner is in masculine energy?
If a man is in his healthy masculine energy and his energy is balanced, he will match without searching with the right partner.
You don't need to look out for anything.
Anything. You will just match. Same goes for the woman. The signs, if he needs to make sure if he matched with the right person, he needs to search for someone that's not in control, that knows how to surrender, that knows how to take a break, that knows how to express her emotions, articulate her emotions without feeling weak, that knows how to deal with her emotions. She's emotionally intelligent. She feels the emotion and she knows how to overcome it fast. She doesn't sit with the emotion for too long. Someone who syncs his life to his cycle, as I said many times this podcast.
Yeah.
And someone who knows how to be a receiver, not a provider. These are like the main signs. There are very obvious signs, by the way. If the skin is fine, if there is no bloating, if the body feels relaxed, if the shoulders are relaxed, like there are physical signs, but they are not 100% in everyone. Let's go into the character. If the character is feminine, as I said, sync to the schedule, knows when to relax, knows how to deal with her emotions, she's the one.
So whenever a man is going out there to look for, firstly, you don't have to look for it if your own frequency is high. But even if you are doing so, just make sure you look at these signs.
Yeah.
So how can men create space for their partners to be feminine without it feeling forced?
First, a male should respect the cycle of the woman, like the weakness that a woman might feel. Respect her when she's trying to rest. Like some males, I used to pass through this in my previous marriage. He used to make me feel guilty when I rest. Without he doesn't know what he was doing.
Yeah.
Don't make fun of her emotions when she's on her PMS. It's very common. I hear it a lot. She's PMSing now. Leave her alone. No, my dear. Her emotions matter. In her PMS, she can solve a lot of limiting beliefs during her PMS.
But how does a man get to know that that her partner is on a PMS?
She needs to tell him.
Yeah, she needs to.
This needs to be open in a relationship.
Yeah.
He needs to know when is her period, when she's PMSing, when she's ovulating, and when she's in her follicular phase. And at some point, he will start knowing without her telling him. He will know. They are connected. Duality. They are connected in a way that he knows her enough. He knows her cycle. He respects her cycle. He respects when she's resting. He helps her and she helps him. He understands her ideas. He gives her the space to express, and he also knows how to express, because if the male is not expressing his emotions properly and the female is too expressive, they will clash.
Yeah.
She will feel insecure. But as I said, if a man is working on himself, his intuition will lead him.
So I came across another study by Harvard Business Review showing that when women align their work with their menstrual cycle, productivity can increase by up to 25%, and stress decreases significantly. But most women don't even track their cycles. Why do you think that is?
Because most women have PCOS. PCOS is polycystic ovary syndrome, which makes their cycle not
Being
regular.
regular.
So women they stopped
Tracking it.
Yeah,
They're
they
just
take
fed up.
like pregnancy pills to regulate their hormones. There are a lot of external factors that make our cycle lose its function properly and become irregular. If a woman is not tracking her menstrual cycle and she's not syncing her schedule to the cycle, she is more likely to go into a burnout, because she's forcing herself in the luteal phase and during the period to do things that her body cannot handle. This is why she's not properly efficient in other phases of her work, her workout, of her life. While if a woman is tracking and syncing her schedule to her cycle, first, she will be very productive in her power phase, which is the follicular phase. Because she's knowing how to rest, her hormones are relaxed, her body is relaxed, so she's very powerful and productive. During the PMS or the luteal phase, she will also be productive as much as she can. She will not reach burnout, you know? So since she's resting properly and since she's listening to her body and she's syncing her schedule to the cycle, she will be able to be productive as much as her body can in the luteal phase. So all in all, the total is more productivity and more efficiency.
Now it makes sense.
Yeah.
Like the way you explained it, it made it even easier to understand.
Thank you.
So you mentioned accept receiving.
Yeah.
What does this look like in practice?
When someone, as I said, gives you a compliment, say thank you and pause without like contradicting the compliment. This is the first rule of receiving words. Second of all, accept not being a provider, because you are born to create a human, not to provide. Nowadays, in our modern society, women value themselves according to how much they make money and how much they work, which makes them keep on fighting with themselves. I want to be in my feminine energy, but I don't want to let go of this side of me. You can work, you can make money, but do not link your value to how much money you make. It will kill your feminine energy, because once you link your value to this, you will not be able to sync your schedule to the cycle. You will not be able to receive. You will not be able to accept that the man can provide and you can like sit still. You will not be able to accept the fact that you need a break in your luteal phase. A healthy man that is a provider would let a female be more in her feminine energy. A toxic masculine that is providing will trigger insecurities in the woman, will let her feel that he is in control in a very toxic way. So the energy in the man and the woman play a big role in a woman accepting receiving or not.
So does this apply to men as well on the receiving part? Because when I look back at my younger self, when anybody used to compliment me on something, I used to feel a bit awkward, like, thank you, and then be like, no, no, no. I used to get a bit awkward. So
Yeah.
does it apply on men as well?
Absolutely. It applies on men in the emotional side because men do not know how to face their emotions. And as you said, when you were young, you used to feel shy
Yeah.
because you think that complimenting me will make me weak or just like a girl, they're giving me a compliment. No, I
Yeah.
don't want to feel like a girl. A man that is in tune with his emotions that understands his emotions and is very strong in his well-being and his masculine energy will be able to know how to receive emotions from his wife, from his mom, from his kids. The main thing that a man needs to receive is warmth, love, and emotions for him to be able to recharge, to go and hunt for the money and the job and protection.
Yeah, I can already feel the change inside myself since I've started accepting it. I've started giving more as well. So if I see even not only a woman, but even if I see a man dressed well or doing something really good, I'll be like, dude, you look so amazing. Dude, you're looking so, I mean, you're looking so handsome.
Exactly. You recharge from this, no?
Yeah.
Like we need to fill our cup to be able to pour for the people around us.
Yeah. But why do you think this is so hard for modern women and men to receive?
The system is corrupted to the extent that the ego is very high in people's hearts, very high ego. Love is very low, so ego and love do not sit in the same person. Unconditional love, I'm saying. So when the ego is high, we started valuing ourselves and we started worshiping how much money, the material world. We started valuing ourselves with the material, what car I'm driving, what brand I'm wearing, which makes me feel more powerful if I'm able to provide all of this to myself. I am in control. I am a provider. I am a strong, independent woman. This is awful, by the way. Okay, we hear it a lot. You know, I'm a strong, independent woman.
I'm providing for myself. I'm enough.
Yeah, this will make you feel miserable when you jump into the menopause, when you get to an age that existential crisis happens. You know what happened? Where's my where did my how did I get to this place? I'm not fulfilled. So the external world doesn't fulfill us. We think it fulfills us. So we attach ourselves to material stuff. So we stop accepting receiving. We stop.
So open your heart, accept receiving, work on your personal growth. Can you break this down step by step?
A male and a female is a must to open their heart for growth. Growth of not just career, not just personal growth, growth of their soul, getting more in tune with themselves, getting more in tune with nature, aligning themselves with the dimension of their goals. When a person opens his heart for growth, automatically the ego steps aside. The ego, the I am in control. I am the queen of the world. This I steps aside. Here comes the abundance. Here comes the unconditional love. I put myself on a very high frequency. Love is the highest frequency in the levels of frequency. Ego is the lowest. So when I put myself on the love frequency, I start living a better life, attracting the right people, attracting the right opportunities, even attracting the right challenges that gets me to where I need to be. When I'm in my I or in my ego, I'm at a very low frequency, fighting with myself all the time. My unconscious mind is not working in as a whole, which makes me detached from myself. So when we open our heart, we connect to this frequency of love, let's say, we start accepting growth. And this is where we take full responsibility of whatever is happening to our life. So we step out of the victim mindset. We step out of the attached misery that we used to have. And we start growing on a spiritual, on a mental, on a physical level. People attach themselves to negative news, to negative stuff. They start involving their emotions in something that's happening on the other side of the world.
Yeah.
Just open your heart. You're not a victim. It has nothing to do with you. Just stay where you are, work on yourself. So this is when I say open your heart. One way to open your heart is write daily, my heart is open. My heart is repeat it, write.
You're like reprogramming your brain.
Yes, my heart
Okay.
is open to love. My heart is open to abundance. My heart is open to opportunities, to growth. This helps me really open my heart.
But this another thing you mentioned about how we are consuming negative news and it affects, because recently I have also learned about this thing that if there's 50% bad in the world, there's 50% good in the world. So if you put your focus on the 50% or like 1 or 2% of negative, the bad part, you will only see that 50% of the world. But if you start focusing on that 1-2% good, you will start seeing good, attracting good in your life.
100%. First, as Tony Robbins says, when you focus on the good gets better. So wherever your focus is, you attract. You are on the frequency of whatever you focus on. This is one. It's hard for people nowadays to focus on the good. Why? Because people lack purpose. They get attached to the misery of others. They get attached to negative thoughts to have purpose. You know, it pushes them to have a negative purpose for sure. When we start focusing on the good, when we start being grateful, automatically our focus is shifted. Automatically we are vibrating on the frequency of whatever we're thinking of, the good in this case, which makes us attract more good stuff to our life, better people, good opportunities. Even challenges become easier on us because we're grateful. So gratitude is the key for us to focus on the good.
Good, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the only technique I used when I was seeing my dreams shattering in front of me, my tennis career going aside, me not going anywhere, just feeling completely stuck. I started learning more about gratefulness and I started practicing gratefulness. And while doing so, I started feeling like my life is so much better. I mean, I'm getting food on time. I have a roof to live under, sleep under. I have a car to roam around here and there. What else you need?
100%. And then everything changed,
Yes,
right?
everything changed. My mindset changed. And I was more of open to take more risks in life, to explore different areas of life. And life tastes so much better when you experience different things in life.
100%. When you experience gratitude,
Yes.
when you're grateful, you will be able to absorb the challenges
Yeah.
and let them go. They don't stick to you. Life is all about challenges. Why? Because we need to grow. Our soul needs to cleanse. We need to update our knowledge, reprogram our mind. This is why we're here. This is our purpose in life. So life without challenges has no meaning. People who are grateful pass through the challenge smoothly. They do ache because of the challenge, but it passes. And you see other people on the other side that are not grateful. They are attached to a challenge that happened 50 years ago, 50 years back. We know a lot of these people. They still, I don't judge them because they still don't have the awareness. But now that we're talking about this, whoever is watching this, please start your gratitude list. Be grateful for the cup of water in front of you. Be grateful for the sun. Be grateful for your arms, your eyes, your voice, your hair, everything. We're very abundant, as I said before. We're very abundant.
Yeah, and life, if it's balanced, that means you're dead.
100%.
Heartbeat is always up and down, and that's when you feel alive the most.
Absolutely. Challenges makes us feel alive.
Yeah.
Just if we're grateful.
Yes.
If we're not, it kills us.
It kills us.
Yeah.
So, what are the biggest mistakes women make when they're trying to attract their soulmate?
One of the main mistakes is that we mention our standards that are here and we don't match with them. We expect that we need to attract this type of man and we don't do the right habits. We don't work on ourselves. We don't work on our growth. We don't work on letting go. We don't work on stopping controlling.
Yes.
So a woman that is expecting herself to match with these standards, you need to set a list of habits that you need to introduce to your life to be able to match with this human provider or the standards that you are listing. This is what usually happens. So whenever you're building this list of the dream partner, how will you be the dream wife for him? Ask yourself first, how will I be the dream wife to match with him, and start working on yourself. If you want him to be disciplined and he works out, start working out. If you want him to be like masculine, stop being controlling. If you want him to be a provider, stop valuing yourself according to how much you work. So us working on ourselves is the perfect way to attract the right healthy partner.
So there's something funny coming into my head. Most of the time I have only noticed women having these list of characteristics they want out of their partners, instead of men having, like, rarely. I mean, I cannot even think of one or two men who I have seen with a list.
The list.
Why is that?
I think because males have a diversity of taste in women because of many stuff, because of maybe limiting beliefs, because of maybe he was bullied from his mom when he was young, so he takes validation from many women, because of sexual things he watches, so he has a diversity of image of women in his head. Because of maybe one of the things also is because he's very confident that he will match with the right person, so he doesn't think of this. Also, something to add, males nowadays are not that ready to get married, are not that ready for the responsibility. You see them all running away from this responsibility. This is why maybe they don't have the list.
I can see myself there as well.
You're running away from marriage?
Yeah, I mean, so far.
Oh, yes. Okay, I get you. It can be like fixed. It can be like it's a limiting belief probably that can be reprogrammed in your mind. Don't worry. Don't.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, don't worry.
So how can men help their partners to tap into their feminine energy?
If a man is working on himself and is growing and balancing his feminine and masculine inside him, he will be able to provide the space for the woman to get to know herself, to rest more, to relax her nervous system. He stops judging her if she's resting, let's say. He stops judging her and valuing her according to how much she works, let's say. He stops comparing her to other women. So if the man is working on himself, he will definitely be able to provide the space for a woman to grow her feminine energy.
And what should a man should stop doing that's keeping his women in masculine energy?
Stop making women feel insecure if they're not working. So nowadays, males also value women according to how much she makes money, according to her title in society, according to what she's wearing, according to how much injections she has in her face and her body. Males need to shift their mindset, go back to the real purpose, and understanding themselves to be able to stop judging women and making them feel insecure. On the other hand, females also should stop judging themselves and feeling insecure and comparing themselves to other women. And also females should stop comparing a man to another by his car, the car he's driving, the brand he's wearing, how much money he's making, because this is making men even more insecure, which makes them more aggressive with you females.
Yeah.
You know?
This reminds me of this quote that you cannot clap with one hand.
Exactly.
It's both the hands.
It's duality.
Yes.
We have two eyes, two hands, two ears. It's all about duality and two energies. We need a partner.
Right. I'm thinking about the man who's listening, who want to be supportive to his wife or his partner. They might feel confused, like when to step up and when to step back. Can you give us a framework for this?
A man should be like tapping into his energy too, to be able to give the space for his partner to work on herself. Just start working on yourself, on your growth, not in your career, not in your workout, not in your discipline, not in something external. Start tapping into your emotions. If you understand your emotions, you will be able to understand your partner's emotions.
So coming back to what you mentioned earlier in our conversation, that Botox and fillers are blocking feminine energy. Can you explain more on this?
When you fill our face with Botox, let's say, Botox doesn't let your muscles function properly. it numbs the muscle. This is why it removes the
Oh,
the lines,
the wrinkles.
the wrinkles, exactly. So when you have Botox in your face and fillers in your lips and in your cheeks, let's say, the facial expressions are not being expressed properly as they should. So the signal of a smile is not going to the brain properly. It stopped going to the brain because the face is not being able to smile properly. It's not being able to frown. It's not being able to say no properly. So the facial expressions are blocked. So the neurons are not being able to take the message to the brain. We become very disconnected from our nervous system. So my physical body is on one side and my brain is on another side. So we get disconnected.
Okay.
This blocks the flow of energy inside our body. So if a woman is sad and she needs to cry and she's not being able to cry properly because of the Botox inside her face.
Just the tears coming down, but there's no expression.
Exactly. Imagine how much disconnection this causes. This is one. Two, the material that is going inside our face and inside our bodies if we're injecting ourselves with stuff. It blocks the movement of blood flow, the movement of energy inside our body properly. So here we're not talking, like if we ask doctors, they tell you it's 100% safe, it looks natural. I know, but you know nothing about energy, my dear. They're just talking medically and physically. It's not physical, it's on the energy level. The energy, the chakras, the energies are not flowing properly inside the body, which makes us also very shattered and disconnected from the inside, which decreases the feminine energy, increases depression, which leads her to inject herself even more because she feels insecure, she doesn't feel good about herself. Injection after injection, she damages her feminine energy, her energy in general.
And this applies to even masculine as well, because I mean, it's so fascinating to know about the fact like how your expressions are also connected, sending signals to your brain.
Yes. This also applies to males who take steroids to go very big. They go very big to the extent that their body is not functional anymore. They cannot run. They cannot go on the stairs properly.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It also disconnects them. It blocks the energy to move properly in their body. So big muscles, big lips, no. No. But I used to once do filler and Botox, and it's been 3 years now. I don't touch my face. I didn't know. And women don't know.
Yeah.
We're here to tell them.
Yeah. So Leah, why aligning with nature is so controversial now?
People have a perspective about people that are connected to nature, that they are like lower in society. People who live in nature now, money-wise, financially, they are less. The majority are less like financially stable than people who live in the city, who live in Dubai, who live in Beirut. Like they have a stable work, 9-to-5 job with a good salary. People have a bad perspective about living in nature to the extent that they are burning natures, killing trees to have buildings instead. So this perspective about nature is like damaged towards people. Because we people who are aligning with nature are tapping into our awakening. The awakening is too far from the society. So people who are in society, seeing people aligning with nature and going into their awakening, being more spiritual, being more aligned with the earth, with the sun, with the moon, with everything, this is so different from the modern society. This is so weird. For them, it's hippie.
Yeah.
It's not hippie, it's the truth. But I understand they still don't have the awareness. They still didn't taste this truth, you know? This is why it's controversial. It's too much.
Yeah, it sounds like modern society had made it abnormal to be naturally feminine.
Yes, absolutely. It's abnormal. It's more normal for a woman to be very successful at work and decide not to get married and have kids. It's more normal from a woman that wants to have like a family and still work at the same time.
That's a pretty bold statement. What would a world look like where feminine energy is valued equally to masculine?
The world would be a very good place because Women will have more space to connect like with their menstrual cycle. Women will have more space to breastfeed their babies, which will grow immune kids. So the whole society will be affected. Women will have more space to face their emotions and not feel insecure if they are emotional. This is why they are able to let go of negative emotions, which will make the next generation less traumatic. We're not anymore like releasing our negative emotions into the DNA of our
Yeah, and
kids.
we are just passing down our trauma generation by generation.
100%. And this will also make space for men to be more in their healthy masculine, not in their toxic masculine. This will build families again, not break families like nowadays is happening. The world will be in a very good place if every male or female is in his correct energy.
All right, Leah, it's time for some rapid fire.
Ooh.
So first, we're gonna jump to the women part.
Okay.
One thing women can do today to tap into feminine energy.
Sync their schedule to their cycle.
Biggest sign you are in masculine energy.
You want to be in control all the time and you feel guilty when you take a break.
Best way to start cycle syncing.
Sync your working schedule and your workout to your cycle. You can start with the PMS, lower the intensity in the luteal phase.
Now for men, one way men can support their partners today.
Give them space to express their emotions without judging them.
Biggest mistake men make with feminine women.
Make them feel less valuable because they are in their feminine and they cherish family and love and care more than work.
How to know if you are in your feminine and need to step up as a man?
You are seeking unhealthy habits to prove yourself to prove to yourself that you are strong and masculine by injecting yourself with steroids, being disconnected from your emotions, being aggressive with your parents or your partner. You don't know how to deal with your emotions, etc.
Exactamundo. So, Leah, what strikes me is that you are not just talking about relationships, you're talking about a complete reimagining of how we structure society, work, and life. If you could wave a magic wand and change one thing about how we approach masculine and feminine energy, what would it be?
Stop 9-to-5 jobs. Go back to hunting. And women go back to raising happy families.
Yeah,
families.
Go back to farming. Be out there in nature.
9-to-5? Big.
No, yes. For our listeners, both men and women, what's one thing they can do this week to start honoring natural energy cycles?
Wake up with the sun and let the sunrise and the sunset touch your skin and your eyes. You will feel amazing and your nervous system will calm down. You'll be able to connect better with each other.
Where can people find you and learn more about your 21 secrets to boost feminine energy and to be a part of your ACE morning?
Woo! On Instagram. Lea Bahaderian on Instagram.
Perfect. So, Leah, it was amazing having you here at the Mask. I loved your insights on feminine energy, masculine energy, how to sync the cycle, and how to feel more fulfilled. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me. I am really grateful for you. You're trying to help people, serve, let the awakening reach the whole world. Thank you so much. Super, super grateful.